So my 6-year-old daughter told me yesterday she needs to go on a diet, and it really got me thinking, because the amount of women I work with who absolutely tear themselves to shred, comment on every bit of part of their body, and really just talk about food in a good and a bad way, you probably don't realize the impact that's having on your kids. And look, I'll walk you through how I broke it down with her, but I want you to understand this. What you do has an impression on your child. What they watch, based on how you talk about it, normalizes how your child sees themselves. I'm not claiming to be a perfect parent here, but what I'm saying is I've seen so many damaged women who are passed on those traits down to their kids, particularly young girls. And the reason I want to help more women with their bodies and with their food relationships and with their habits is because this is undoing that cycle going forward for their families as well. So my daughter, it was from a program she watched, but also she believes that apparently in order to lose weight, she must diet, which isn't inherently incorrect. But I was like, so what are you doing? She explains to me that she's eating only fruit now. And I'm like, okay, so why are you only eating fruit? She says, and again, she mentioned it helps lose weight and she's on a diet because she wants to be healthy. This is very black and white thinking that she is being told and taught in other places, right? That can stem from youth, that can stem from social media. And it can develop from here. And you might think I'm overreacting, but it doesn't, because I'm going to ask you this now. How many of you probably are in the position you are now because your grandma, your mum, someone or some person you know commented on how you looked all the time? Oh, you're a bit big for that. Or, oh, that doesn't look that right for you. Mate, have you thought about losing weight? These little comments that were just accepted in our past, it's very normal in the 90s and the 80s. They are what shapes you and they are what causes you trouble today. So with my daughter, I broke it down a wee bit more. So I explained, and maybe some of you need to hear this, just because you eat this does not make you healthy. It doesn't make you better. It doesn't fix everything you're doing because you're labeling this as a good food. Inherently, if I eat this, this isn't unhealthy to eat this. It's not bad to eat this. What is unhealthy though is labeling either of those two as good or bad, or demonizing one, saying I can't have biscuits because I'll eat the whole packet. That's unhealthy. Saying I can only eat fruit for my snacks because otherwise I'll go off course. That's unhealthy. But you won't undo these behaviors. So I explained to my daughter, I said, look, I love the fact you're eating fruit. It's really, really good. You do need to eat more fruit because, you know, we don't eat as much fruit in this household. But I would love for you to be able to eat your fruit and still include something like a sweetie or a nice treat every single day, because it's healthy to have both. You just need to eat them in the right amounts. That's at 6 years old. I'm trying to teach her that. Yes, it might be a bit in-depth and complex, but I want to model that to her because I don't keep these out of the house. I try to control how much I eat of them. So when I have these, I'll take 2 to 3 biscuits. If I'm having a really bad day, I'll want 4 of them. But I'll take them away from the packet, go put the packet back. I'll always make sure I have fruit. Every single meal. At my breakfast, I'll have my frozen fruit on top of that. At my lunch, I'll always try to have a section of grapes. At my dinner, I'll try throwing some frozen onions or some frozen broccoli or frozen spinach. Something that's just really easy. Because that's what health is. It's about making a complete, healthy, balanced diet. Not dieting, but a diet that looks after your body. But it starts from you. Because if you cannot stop pulling yourself apart, oh, I just need to lose my muffin top. Oh, I've got bingo wings. Oh, I just hate the cellulite on my body. Your child is going to grow up thinking exactly that. I'll try and show some clips here, but my daughter and my son constantly talking about like how big their muscles are getting and stuff like that. And I'm trying to model exercise on that. Good. It's heavy now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You thought that was easy, do you remember?
Yeah.
And relax. I've got it. Thank you.
Oh.
How hard
How
was
do
that?
I feel? What
Show the biceps. Show the camera your biceps. Show
No.
the camera your biceps.
No.
No, I just saw your biceps. You're bigger biceps than me, ain't you? Solid. I know when they get older, they won't always be like this, but I'll always encourage them to stay active in some way, shape or form. Not to be an athlete or anything like that, but to look after themselves. Even when my partner, she talks negatively of herself, I try to call it out. I don't shame her because that's how she actually feels. I help her accept that's how she feels. But I help her repaint the truth. I help her repaint the life she's living. I help her make more positive choices without judgment as well. Because as partners, I'm here to support her. So this is the one thing you need to take away from this video. Unless you address how you speak to yourself, if you continuously shit talk yourself, if you continuously belittle yourself, if you continuously pull yourself to pieces all the time, and you've been doing that for 10 to 15 years, what do you think your daughter's going to do? What do you think your son's going to do? They'll pretty much do the same thing. We have to model for our kids. We have to model for them. So I'm not saying lie to yourself. I'm not saying you're going to change this overnight. This takes months of hard work. It's what I specialize in with all my clients, working on the stuff that goes on beyond the weight loss or alongside it that actually transfers to long-term transformation. So one question today, if you could look at the last 3 to 4 weeks of your training, of your nutrition, of what you've done to your body, name one positive change. And I bet there'll be a load of you who'll tell me that, well, I can't think of one thing. And therein lies the problem. You have probably made changes before. Look at that then. What one change did you notice? I bet some of you have lost some dress sizes. I bet some of you dropped some kilos. I bet some of you have seen improvement in your skin. I bet some of you have seen some definition in your arms, or felt stronger, not out of breath, not needing an inhaler. My job as a coach is to shine the light on that constantly, because usually you won't see it. But when you start seeing it and start recognizing it and being like, I'm proud of the effort I put in, and I'm proud of what I managed to achieve, talk about that, and your kids will recognize that as well. Because I've got teenagers in this house who are judging themselves and breaking themselves down already at 13, 14 years old. And it's heartbreaking. But I deal with that challenge as well. And I try and help shape her views of the world and looking after her body best I can. Again, no judgment from a parent to another parent, but everything starts with you.